In mid-December of 2018, after intensive calculations and detailed planning, I decided to ferry a single-engine piston, non-pressurized aircraft under VFR from United Kingdom to Latvia. If I flew the autodrome like most of the airlines, the path would be like in the background. However, due to the airspace configuration, mainly London area and Kaliningrad area, the planned path was like you see it now. Of course, endurance of this aircraft is not enough, as well as daylight in December is not that long to complete the flight in one go. So a decision was made to split the flight in 3 separate flights. First day from Oaksey Park to Hanover, second day from Hanover to Kaunas, and third day from Kaunas to Riga. Enjoy! Day number 1. Leg from Oaksey Park to Hanover. An experienced ex-commercial airline pilot joins me for the first leg in order to assist with some questions and performance management of this particular aircraft. Weather forecast, great VMC for the whole flight. However, some low cloud patches are expected in the middle of the Belgium. Also, 6-hour forecast for Hanover is very good. Decision to go is made. Planned duration of the flight was roughly 5 hours with a fuel for 7 hours. After about an hour of flight, calculation is performed and we notice that we are flying 15 knots slower than was planned because of a stronger hot wind than anticipated. And it will extend the flight to 6 hours. Still enough fuel, however, passing Münster. As it was our alternate aerodrome, we checked the weather in Hanover to make sure we don't have to divert due to weather. Everything was fine and we continued to Hanover. With one orbit, I line up as a number 2 for landing behind Lufthansa and land on the runway 09 Charlie Center, which is exactly adjacent to the General Aviation Terminal. Quick refuel and parking for overnight stay. Here is a small recap of the whole flight of the first leg. Intensive overnight planning for the next leg. A lot of calculations and preparing for unexpected situations, as weather forecast is good for Hanover and the rest of Germany. And Kaunas expect broken cloud layer at 1,700 feet, which gives me kind of go decision. The whole Poland is covered with several overcast cloud layers with potential icing. It is planned for 5 hours and 5 minutes. My alternate Echo Papa Sierra Yankee gives special VFR conditions and I decide to go. My brother joins me for the flight from Hanover to Riga. He has no pilot license, however, it's better to have someone to assign certain tasks to reduce my workload on some stages of the flight. As we approached Poland, the bad weather kicks in, and it has become even worse than forecasted. I have to make a quick decision, divert to Berlin or climb over the clouds. A decision is made to try to get over the cloud layer, and if we are above clouds and below 10,000 feet, we continue. If not, we divert to Berlin. As people say, we discussed and I made a decision to climb up to flight level 90. I have to add, we had a VOR DME equipment, GPS, 2 separate Sky Demons running and a single axis autopilot that I found might be useful if I have to do a cloud break at Kaunas. We leveled off at flight level 90 with relief. As you can see, we were in visual meteorological conditions and it looked that we will stay in VMC for the rest of the flight. We had, however, to do a minor avoiding turns to stay outside the misty clouds. Over the middle of Poland, we started to receive warnings about severe icing from ground till 8,000 feet. We were of course clear of that icing layer, however that was the time to visually inspect the wing. I noticed we have picked ice on the leading edge of the wing. That input made me a little bit concerned, but first I wanted to rule out that we are still picking ice. During a constant watch with a relative relief, I discovered that we are not picking it up anymore. And next task was to do calculations how the performance of an aircraft was changed with the candy smooth 1 centimeter thick ice on the leading edge of the wing. I came up with the results. We were doing 110 knots ground speed with the help of the wind at flight level 90 and burning around 33 liters per hour. However, I have burned more during climb to flight level 90 than I would be just cruising at 3000 feet. I now estimated my flight will take 6 hours and 30 minutes. Being aware that I have fuel for 7 hours and then engine just quits, left me with no room for error. To make things even worse, sun was going down and there were no promised broken layer, just overcast, despite we received information that there is even KOK in Kaunas. So I ended up over Kaunas at flight level 90 and descend 1000 feet since I had now to break the clouds and didn't want to stay in clouds very long due to possible icing. I hit autopilot on wings level mode and trimmed the aircraft for a steep descent. At promised 1,700 feet, we have the ground in sight and we are on shore final at Echo Yankee Kilo Sierra. It took me around 5 minutes from flight level 90 to roll on the runway. Whole flight was around 6 hours and 13 minutes with remaining 20 liters of fuel. I learned several lessons from here. Things might have gone wrong very rapidly should some technical malfunction kick in. I would never plan that kind of flight again. Good weather at departure and destination might not be sufficient if you don't have en route alternatives. Parking the aircraft, preparing for the next flight and having a good rest was the main tasks for this evening. Not as early as previous days, but still in the morning we prepared for a relatively short but as responsible and challenging leg as previous ones. Because of increasing snowing and decreasing visibility expected at Kaunas. That's why quick refueling and preparation for early departure was very essential. We had to de-ice the aircraft with bare hands by warming aluminum warm enough for ice to crack apart from the leading edge of the wing. Soon we took off with a sharp left turn out and headed home. Weather was better than forecasted. Approaching Riga, however, weather was significantly worse than forecasted, leaving us on a 1000 cruise altitude. With a kind request to a Riga tower to close my flight plan, my 3-day journey and 14-hour pure flying finishes successfully home. 90% of everything worked out as planned because of exhaustive planning and preparation. rest was a combination of luck and help from above, or, if you like, the energy of every single follower and supporter during my ferry. I'd like to thank my family for supporting and encouraging me before I even left Latvia to United Kingdom. My parents that I believe went crazy and lost a lot of nerves during my ferry flight. Mr. Fent, previous owner of the aircraft, for arrangements and hospitality while I was in UK, preparing for ferrying the access to Latvia. Mr. Nashwortham, the ex-CPL commercial pilot and brilliant crew member for the flight to Hanover, and my brother that I believe everything took as a fun and an adventure. However, on the longest leg he was a great support, and every single follower from the Riga air traffic control starting and other relatives and other people that were following my flight from UK to Latvia. Remember, people, always the golden rule: failing to prepare prepares you for a fail. Happy New Year, everybody. See you on my next flight.